Hey everyone, and welcome to my BNB Glow channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Oh no! Luna had an accident in prison that led to a miscarriage. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Luna's incarceration, a storm brewing behind bars. After months of chaos, betrayal, and tangled lies, Luna found herself paying the ultimate price for crimes she swore she didn't commit. Her world had already been torn apart when the truth about her paternity came into question, and the scandal surrounding forged DNA tests made her an easy target for the justice system. Despite protests from her mother Poppy, and emotional pleas from R.J. Forrester, Luna was sentenced to prison after being accused of tampering with evidence that linked Bill Spencer to the false DNA results. Her time behind bars was meant to be short, just long enough for the Forrester and Spencer families to gather proof of her innocence. But prison life was not kind to Luna. From the moment she entered those cold gray walls, she faced hostility, whispers, and bullying from fellow inmates who knew her as the designer's golden girl. Still, Luna tried to stay strong. She found hope in the letters R.J. sent her every week, full of promises, plans for their future, and the words "I'll never stop believing in you." It was that love that kept her going. What no one knew was that Luna was hiding a secret even more life-changing: she was pregnant. A secret life growing within. Luna discovered her pregnancy during her second week in prison. At first, she thought the nausea and exhaustion were just symptoms of stress. But a visit to the infirmary confirmed what she feared and hoped for all at once. The baby she carried was R.J.'s, a symbol of their love, their connection, and the future that could have been. For a brief moment, Luna felt joy. Even in a cell, she felt a glimmer of light. She imagined holding her child, telling R.J. that despite everything, they'd been given a miracle. Yet she also knew the dangers of being pregnant in such a harsh environment. The guards were overworked, medical attention was slow, and the conditions were far from safe. Poppy begged the court to have Luna released on medical grounds. She visited every official she could, including Carter and Ridge, pleading for their help. "She's pregnant, for God's sake. That's R.J.'s baby. You can't let her stay in there." But bureaucracy moved slowly, far too slowly to save Luna from what was coming. The day everything changed. It was a rainy Tuesday morning when tragedy struck. Tensions had been high in the cell block after a fight broke out between two inmates over stolen commissary goods. The guards were distracted, chaos erupted, and Luna found herself in the middle of it all. According to eyewitness accounts, Luna had tried to help another inmate who was being pushed around. In the confusion, one woman slipped, and Luna was shoved violently against a concrete wall. The sound of her cry echoed through the block, followed by a silence so chilling that even the toughest inmates froze. When guards rushed to her side, Luna was pale, shaking, and clutching her stomach. Blood began to stain her orange jumpsuit as panic spread. She was rushed to the prison infirmary, where medical staff did everything they could. But the damage was too severe. Hours later, the heartbreaking news came: Luna had miscarried. The aftermath, a world in mourning. When Poppy received the call, she collapsed. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't think. The daughter she had fought so hard to protect was now broken, her innocence stolen, her motherhood ripped away before it even began. R.J. was next to hear the news, and what followed was one of the most emotional breakdowns in bold and beautiful history. He drove straight to the prison, demanding to see Luna, his voice cracking as he shouted, "You can't keep me from her. She needs me." Security tried to restrain him, but Ridge stepped in, taking his son into his arms as R.J. sobbed, "I was going to be a father, Dad. I was going to give her everything." Inside her cell, Luna lay on her bed staring at the ceiling, her body weak, her spirit shattered. The medical staff had cleared her to return to her cell, but emotionally, she was a shell of the woman she once was. She didn't speak for days. Not even when Poppy visited. Not when R.J.'s letters came. She simply sat, replaying that awful moment over and over again: the shove, the impact, the loss. Guilt and blame spread like wildfire. As the Forrester and Spencer families learned the truth, grief quickly turned to rage. Bill Spencer was the first to explode, blaming the justice system and himself. If I hadn't pushed so hard for the charges, she wouldn't have been in that hellhole, he shouted in his office, shattering a glass against the wall. Ridge, torn between fatherly sympathy and moral duty, promised RJ that he would move heaven and earth to free Luna. This isn't justice. This is cruelty, he said solemnly. Brooke tried to console RJ, but even her gentle words couldn't reach him. RJ withdrew, consumed by guilt, whispering to himself, I should have done more. I should have protected her. Evenly Finnegan, Luna's aunt, was shaken. Though she had once doubted Luna's innocence, seeing the devastation caused by her imprisonment broke her completely. Lee, a doctor who had seen countless tragedies, couldn't stop crying. That poor girl, my niece, she lost her baby in a place where no woman should ever be forced to give birth, let alone lose a child. Luna's fragile recovery. Weeks passed, and Luna was finally granted early release due to medical and emotional trauma. But freedom felt hollow. When she stepped outside the prison gates, the sunlight blinded her, not because it was bright, but because it felt foreign. RJ ran to her, tears streaming down his face, pulling her into his arms. But Luna didn't return the embrace at first. She just whispered, It's gone, RJ. Our baby's gone. That moment, silent and raw, captured the full weight of their loss. The couple spent days together in silence, finding small pieces of comfort in each other's presence. RJ refused to leave her side. He cooked for her, stayed up through the night when nightmares kept her awake, and held her hand when she broke down without warning. Still, Luna couldn't shake the darkness. She blamed herself, wondering if she could have done something different. Poppy tried to encourage her daughter to heal, saying, You survived, Luna. That means something. You're stronger than you think. But Luna didn't feel strong. She felt empty. The search for justice. Ridge and Carter began digging into what really happened inside the prison. It didn't take long for them to uncover disturbing details. The prison had a history of violent altercations, understaffing, and medical neglect. Ridge made it his mission to ensure no one else suffered like Luna did. Bill, on the other hand, used his power and money to go after those responsible. He hired private investigators, demanded accountability, and even threatened to sue the state. They let my son's child die, he growled. Someone will pay for this. The investigation took a shocking turn when it was revealed that the guard on duty that day had falsified the incident report, claiming Luna had slipped accidentally. With mounting evidence, the truth began to unravel. Luna's miscarriage wasn't just a tragedy, it was the result of negligence and cover-up. A flicker of hope amid the grief. As weeks turned into months, Luna began to slowly find her voice again. One night, sitting by the ocean with RJ, she said softly, I thought I'd never feel peace again. But maybe our baby wants us to keep living. To love. That was the beginning of her healing journey. She returned to Forrester Creations part-time, channeling her grief into her designs. Her new line, titled Phoenix, symbolized rebirth and hope after tragedy. Every stitch, every piece of fabric was dedicated to the child she lost, and to the woman she was becoming. RJ stood proudly by her side during the launch, whispering, You did it. You're still standing. Luna smiled for the first time in months, tears glistening in her eyes. The final scene, Love After Loss. The bold and the beautiful spoilers tease that Luna's story is far from over. Though she has endured unimaginable loss, her resilience and the love surrounding her will guide her toward a new future. The tragedy may have taken her child, but it awakened a strength she never knew she possessed. In a touching final scene, Luna visits the small garden outside the Forrester mansion, a place of serenity and reflection. She plants a white rose, whispering softly, For you, my little one. You'll always be part of me. RJ joins her, wrapping his arm around her shoulders as the camera pans out, leaving viewers with a powerful message of hope, healing, and enduring love. Because even in the darkest moments, the bold and the beautiful reminds us that love, no matter how bruised or broken, always finds a way to rise again. Luna finally confesses the identity of the bio father of her unborn child, the bold and the beautiful. A secret too heavy to bear. Luna's world had become a prison of secrets. She'd been trying to hide her growing belly beneath loose clothing and distracted smiles, but everyone could see something was changing. Her once bright spirit had dimmed, replaced by sleepless nights and a constant look of fear in her eyes. Poppy, her mother, had noticed first. "Luna, honey, I know that look," she whispered one morning as she found her daughter standing at the mirror, holding her stomach as if trying to protect it from the world. "You're pregnant, aren't you?" Luna froze. For weeks, she'd denied it, to herself, to RJ, to everyone. But now, tears streamed down her face as she nodded. "I didn't mean for this to happen, Mom. I was careful. But," her voice broke, "I don't even know how to tell anyone. I don't know how to face him." Poppy's heart shattered as realization dawned. The baby's father wasn't just anyone, he was someone deeply connected to the Forresters. Someone who could destroy Luna's life if the truth came out. RJ's hopeful heart. Meanwhile, RJ Forrester, oblivious to the full truth, was over the moon when he overheard Luna's whispered confession to her mother. He rushed to her side, full of hope and love. "Luna, it's okay. You don't have to be scared. If you're pregnant, if that's our baby, I'll take care of you. Of both of you." Luna looked into his eyes and felt a pang of guilt so sharp it made her dizzy. RJ's words were sincere, his love unconditional. But the truth she was hiding would crush him. Still, she couldn't bring herself to speak. "RJ, I just need time," she whispered. "Please, don't tell anyone yet." RJ nodded, mistaking her hesitation for fear of the spotlight. "You have all the time you need," he said softly, brushing a tear from her cheek. "But just know, I'm not going anywhere." His words should have comforted her, but instead, they cut deep. Because Luna knew RJ wasn't the father of her unborn child. The night that changed everything. It had all begun on that one confusing, haunting night that Luna wished she could erase. It was the night after her world had imploded, after the forged DNA tests, the accusations, the betrayals. She had gone to Bill Spencer's mansion to confront him about the lies surrounding her paternity test. She wanted answers. She wanted justice. But what she got instead was a twisted turn of fate. Bill had been drinking heavily that night, haunted by his own guilt and confusion over the paternity scandal. When Luna arrived, emotions were high, words were sharp, and tempers flared. The argument escalated. Luna accused Bill of destroying her life, while Bill, equally tormented, tried to justify his actions. And then, as the tension boiled over, something unexpected happened. Comfort turned into confusion. In the haze of alcohol, pain, and misplaced affection, boundaries blurred. What happened next was a mistake, one that would haunt both of them forever. The next morning, Luna woke up in disbelief. She left without saying a word, her heart shattered and her mind reeling. She told no one, not even her mother. And when weeks later she discovered she was pregnant, her world collapsed all over again. The confession no one saw coming. The truth finally came out on a stormy night at Forrester Creations. Luna had been feeling dizzy all afternoon, her stress taking its toll. RJ had planned a quiet dinner at the office to surprise her, complete with candles and flowers, but the surprise turned into disaster when Bill Spencer himself arrived unexpectedly, demanding to speak to Ridge about business. As Bill entered the room, Luna's face went pale. The tension between them was thick enough to cut with a knife. RJ noticed immediately. "Luna, what's wrong?" he asked, but before she could respond, Bill's eyes met hers, and everything froze. The air seemed to disappear. Luna's hand instinctively went to her belly, and Bill's expression shifted from confusion to realization. His jaw tightened. Ridge, sensing something was off, demanded, "What's going on here?" Luna shook her head, tears already welling. No, please, not like this." "Luna," Bill said quietly, his voice low but trembling, "how far along are you?" RJ blinked in disbelief. "Wait, why are you asking her that?" And then it happened, the truth Luna had been burying for months burst out in a single, heartbreaking sentence. Because, he's the father of my baby. Shockwaves across Los Angeles. The room erupted. RJ staggered back, shaking his head as if trying to wake from a nightmare. No, Luna, please tell me that's not what you just said. Ridge's fury exploded. Bill. What the hell did you do? Bill was speechless, guilt and disbelief etched across his face. Ridge, I swear, I didn't know, I didn't mean for. Luna cried out, stop it. Stop yelling. It wasn't planned. It was a mistake. I was broken, scared, and lost. That night, it just happened. I wish I could take it back, but I can't. RJ's voice cracked as he whispered, I loved you, Luna. I was ready to build a life with you. His eyes filled with tears. Was any of it real? It was, Luna sobbed. RJ, it was all real. You're the one I love. But this baby, her voice trembled, I can't lie anymore. You deserve the truth. Poppy entered moments later, drawn by the shouting. When she saw the scene, she knew instantly what had happened. Oh, Luna, she whispered, holding her daughter as chaos unfolded around them. The fallout, love and betrayal collide. The news spread like wildfire. By morning, every corner of Forrester Creations and Spencer Publications buzzed with whispers of the scandal. Bill Spencer, the father of Luna's baby? The same man who might also be her biological father according to the disputed DNA results? It was a bombshell that tore families apart. Brooke confronted Bill with fire in her eyes. Do you even hear how disgusting this sounds, Bill? You could have been her father. Bill, tortured by guilt, snapped back, I didn't know, Brooke. None of us knew what to believe. That DNA test was forged. I thought I was trying to make things right, and I destroyed everything instead. Meanwhile, RJ refused to return Luna's calls. He locked himself in the design office, replaying every moment they'd shared. The laughter, the kisses, the dreams, all now tainted by betrayal. When Ridge tried to comfort him, RJ's only words were, she didn't just lie to me, Dad. She lied to us all. Luna's breakdown. Haunted by the chaos she caused, Luna spiraled. She stopped showing up to work, avoided her friends, and spent her days hiding in her apartment. Poppy tried to comfort her, but Luna was inconsolable. I never wanted this, Luna cried. I just wanted love. I wanted peace. And now I've destroyed everything, RJ, Bill, our families. My baby doesn't even have a name yet, and already the world hates us. Poppy, fighting her own tears, whispered, you didn't destroy the world, sweetheart. The world destroyed you first. You just made a mistake, one we'll get through together. But Luna didn't believe her. Bill's decision. Bill, consumed by guilt and fear, decided to take responsibility, no matter the cost. He went to see Luna privately, his face solemn. I don't know what kind of man that makes me, Luna, he said, his voice rough. But if this child is mine, I'll protect you both. I'll make sure you're safe, no matter what the world says. Luna, exhausted and tear-stained, looked up at him. You can't fix this, Bill. Not with money, not with power. This isn't something we can spin or control. This is my baby. And I have to live with what that means. Bill's eyes softened. Then let me live with it too. A new beginning or the end of everything? In the coming weeks, the bold and the beautiful spoilers tease that Luna's confession will have ripple effects that no one can predict. A second DNA test is set to reveal the shocking truth, whether Bill truly is the baby's father, or if the first paternity twist was another manipulation from someone lurking in the shadows. Meanwhile, RJ struggles between anger and heartbreak, unsure if he can ever forgive the woman he loves. Ridge and Brooke stand torn, trying to keep their family from imploding while old rivalries reignite. And Luna, fragile, guilty, and fiercely protective of her unborn child, will face her greatest challenge yet, raising her baby in a world that may never forgive her, while holding on to the one thing that still gives her strength, hope. In the end, Luna's confession doesn't just expose a scandal, It exposes the deepest flaws and fears of everyone involved. Because in the bold and the beautiful, the truth doesn't set you free, it sets off a storm that no one sees coming.